Will Aberdeen copy Celtic when they appoint their new manager? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It looks like there's been an update in the Aberdeen managerial job position, at least according to the Daily Record. Now, the big question is, how reliable is the Daily Record? You know what? Probably as reliable as referees in Scotland. Not very, to be honest with you. However, the Daily Record is reporting that Ricardo Rodriguez wants the Aberdeen job. Now, you might be asking, who the hell is Ricardo Rodriguez? I mean, it's a familiar name, but it's not the guy we're thinking of. I mean, there's been several Ricardo Rodriguezes. There's been one in WWE. There's been one in a TV show, Dusk Till Dawn. That's what I think of when I hear the name Ricardo Rodriguez. But nobody thinks of a Spanish manager who has made his name in the J League. But we say made his name, no one's really heard of him, so how has he made his name? But that is irrelevant, because the 48-year-old has said that he wants to take over Aberdeen. He wants to be the man to lead Aberdeen back to the top of Scottish football, and he wants to follow in Ange Postecoglou's footsteps from Japan to Scotland. Now, it looked like Aberdeen were going to appoint, or at least trying to appoint, Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder said he was also interested in the job, but since then he's decided to snub Aberdeen to take the Watford job instead, and I think that makes sense for Chris Wilder. Let's be honest, he will be getting a lot more money at Watford than he would at Aberdeen. He's probably getting, I think it's fair to say Wilder's probably getting like 4 times the amount at Watford, if not even more. So yeah, Watford makes sense for Wilder, but then Aberdeen now need to find somebody else, and maybe, just maybe, Ricardo Rodriguez could be that man. Now, he has currently not got a job. He stepped down from his job at Japanese club Uriah Red Diamonds in January, and he's looking to land a big role in the UK. There's no doubt Aberdeen is a big team, whether it be in the UK or Scotland. You know, they've got a lot of history, and at the moment for Aberdeen, their success is history. Let's be honest, I mean, at the moment they're not doing very well, but there's no reason why they cannot get back to their glory days. Well, actually, there is a reason, because honestly, what is the chances of a non-old firm club winning the Scottish League? I'd say it is next to pretty much impossible. Now, that, in my opinion, could change, but until we see a club make significant progress, till we see a club get a lot closer to the old firm, I don't see anyone breaking that stranglehold. Now, you could argue if one of the old firm have a bad season, then you know what, maybe someone in the league could split them. But for someone outside of Celtic Rangers to win the league, it would take both Glasgow teams to have a shocker of a season, and the chances of that are pretty much none. But Ricardo Rodriguez did lead Uriah Red Diamonds to a double last season by winning both the Emperors and the Japanese Super Cup. So, you know, he won a cup double, and now he wants to go to Aberdeen. Now, if Aberdeen are at risk of being, you know, called copycats, copying Celtic by taking a manager from the J League, but who gives a shit, honestly? Look at how good Ange Postecoglou has been for Celtic. Would Aberdeen really care if they were accused of copying Celtic by taking a manager from the J League? Absolutely not. Who cares? I mean, Hearts signed Oda from a Japanese club. Motherwell, pretty sure, signed a Japanese goalkeeper, and straight away people were making comparisons to Celtic because they were signing Japanese players. I mean, Celtic are not the first team to sign Japanese players, and they won't be the last team to sign Japanese players. So, I mean, I just don't really understand this comparison. Just because, you know, a team wants to sign a Japanese player, or a team wants to appoint someone from a J League, they're automatically like copying or, you know, stealing ideas. I mean, for me, that's bullshit. I never heard of this Ricardo Rodriguez guy, but you know what? I think Aberdeen would be better off taking a chance like this. I would rather take a punt on someone that you don't know. Let's be honest. Could it turn out to be a disaster? Yes. But could it turn out to be great? yes, I think Aberdeen are better, taking a chance with someone that's a bit unknown, an unknown quantity, because they could sign someone that they know from like a domestic level scene, but like a lot of the times you hire someone that's been around, they've had quite a lot of jobs, they've failed. It's like, let's say like Jack Ross, for example, right? I'm not saying Jack Ross is a bad manager, and people have linked him to the Aberdeen job, but we've seen what Jack Ross can do. We've seen him with Hibs, we've seen him with Dundee United, we've seen him with someone else who I can't bloody remember. I think it was St Mirren. But the point being is, right, we know Jack Ross can be a decent manager. He can get good performances out of a team, but he's not going to do anything groundbreaking. We've seen Jack Ross's limit, so to speak. Again, like with Celtic, they could have appointed a manager that we know in like Britain, a domestic level manager, but they went with Ange Postecoglou, an unknown. Ange could have come in, he could have done absolutely terrible, but he didn't. He done great. So I think maybe more clubs need to take a chance rather than just go for the same old tried and tested. I mean, look at the English Premiership. There was a period where it was like literally the same managers constantly like being recycled, like Sam Allardyce. How many jobs did that man get? Seriously, it's like, and I just don't think that if I was Aberdeen, I personally wouldn't go down that same route. You could hire someone that's been in a job, but at the same time, it's like, what they're capable of, and it's not really much. I think you should maybe go and take a chance on someone from a foreign league and go for it. Just try something. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Aberdeen have already wasted time with Goodwin, wasted time with Stephen Glass. They know what failure tastes like. I mean, I'm sure, another 6 months of failure wouldn't be the end of the world for them. But yeah, Ricardo Rodriguez, guys, I've never heard him, but apparently he wants the Aberdeen job, or apparently Aberdeen are considering giving him it. So we'll see. I am surprised though, Aberdeen haven't appointed a manager by now. It's been 7 weeks since Goodwin left. Quite a long time for such a big club. Yeah, and they've got themselves back into a position in the league where they can potentially challenge, for those European spots. So I do think Aberdeen should look to appoint a manager sooner than later. But anyway, guys, that's it for Fog Football. Catch you in the next one. Until then, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.